Grace, we are fine.
Okay. So in the first place, I mean, yesterday you addressed the media and you addressed Ghanaians in the Ministry of Information's Sunday media briefing. For those who may not have heard you, give us a brief snapshot of what has been done by governments, particularly the Interministerial Committee, since the 16th of April.
Okay. I want to say a good morning to all listeners, and I'll use this opportunity that have been given to me to extend my condolences to all road traffic crash victims, their families, not necessarily just those who died recently, but all of them, from the National Road, the board and management of National Road Safety Commission. We want to say that we are with you. And it's our prayer that we'll never see these things again. Yes, with the implementation of the action plan, the first thing was that we as a commission, we have seen, and a study was done to see what was wrong with the commission, what can we do to improve our status. And after going through it, it realized that if we're given an authority status, which meant that what makes it quite different from the commission is we could ensure that in addition to what our responsibilities are, we can enforce the standards on road safety as regards to the design, construction and use of the road and then of the vehicle, which means that if there's an agency that has standards that they have to go by, we could look at whatever they have done or they are doing, and if they are not going by their own standards that they have set, then we could tell them through, I mean, there's a procedure that we go through to inform them that they need to go by those standards. So Cabinet has now approved our authority status, and the Attorney General worked on it. It's at our ministry, which the Minister for Transport is preparing to take to Parliament for them to approve of it. So that is one of the things that we asked when we're doing the action plan, because if we do not have the teeth to bite, then we will continue with the education, which we see now, and sanctions are not given to people or institutions, mainly institutions. Because somebody asked me, is it not the same as doing the work of the police? And I said no. In this case, we are talking about institutions, not just individuals, but institutions, so that they are called to book if they are not doing what they ought to do. Then we requested for money, which it has been given to us in full. That is the 6.5 million, because we needed to do a lot of advocacy and education. So recently, I mean, since last year, we have met with the Ghana Journalists Association and then senior editors and presenters, over 100 of them, where we have told them what the situation is like and what they can do to support us as a commission. If somebody does not understand what the work you do, anything you do, he may criticize. It's because he does not know your weaknesses and your strengths. So we've had a talk with them. We've told them what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, and we have asked them to help us to propagate the information on road safety. In your own small way, we've given them some information so that even if we are not there, throughout their programs, they can chip in one or two things about safety, because safety is about all of us. Also, we have had a partnership with Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association and then the Ghana Broadcasting to place in these audiovisual messages. And I'm sure people will attest to it that during the Christmas, we can't read the whole year round, but at least we have beefed it up. If everybody will see, last year we did it more than we had always done, because we had money from the 6.5 to do it. We have a relationship with them, so we hope that during this Easter and further we'll continue in that direction. Also, we have recruited and also deployed some young youth to help us. Recently, if you look at our numbers, that is the the staff strength of the commission. We are just about 70 of us, and the tax is huge. We cannot go to the very communities that we need to go to. So these were recruited to support the commission. And they were placed at toll booths, and then on the road, marketplaces, and then transport terminals to help us with the education of road safety. So they were taken through some orientation to support us in that direction. And NAPCO too has given us some youth, about 500 of them have been given to us. They are going through training now, so we hope that they will come and complement what we are doing, so that we have now the numbers to go and give education to the general public. We have also sat down together with our brothers, the DVLA and the police, to talk to the transport operators, how we can come together and train drivers. Presently, we all know the law tells us that all drivers are supposed to have some training every year, especially that our concern is typically the commercial drivers. For a long time, you say it, they come for 1 or 2, there's argument that monies, etc. But we cannot continue like that. So we are talking with this, the stakeholders are talking, how can we initiate it? We'll start it, and then now it's compulsory because that's what the law says. So you have no excuse. You have no excuse but to do what the law says. We have to enforce that law. And then also, this is in addition to what the president gave us, what we are doing. We have what we call the lollipops now. If you look at the trend of child pedestrian death, it has come down drastically. In fact, I should state that for the past, since 2013, they are about coming, pedestrian death, passenger death, and then passenger, pedestrian, and child. The trend shows it's coming down. But our worry has been the motorcycles and then the tricycles. And so that is where we need to ensure that we bring down the deaths and injuries. I mean, in addition to the passenger, etc. But that is a source of worry to us now. And so as part of this, to reduce these deaths and injuries, together with our ministry, we are going around the country to the 10, now it's 16 regions, to solicit the views of Ghanaians. The law says that we are not supposed to use these motorcycles and tricycles for commercial purposes. It is clear in it. However, we see people with impunity abusing. I mean, they are not doing it, and they are going against the law. And the question is, do we just look on as if now the enforcement has become an issue, or we rather is it legalize it and then regulate them? There are two views. We should stand by what we say, that this is what the law says, it's against safety, therefore no. Or we go the Rwanda way, where they are regulated. So we are going, and we are starting tomorrow in Accra, and then the other dates will come for the other regions. But tomorrow we are having a forum where we are seeking the view of Ghanaians, which way to go. Do we legalize it? I'm sure if we are able to do that, it will reduce the deaths and injuries on our roads. Then we also have this first aid post. We all know that trauma, when emergency care is very also vital. This is after the crash has occurred. A lot of times, Ghanaians, we are passionate. We go into an accident scene, pick people out with all we want to help. Unfortunately, we most of the time, the studies have shown that we rather kill the victims, and before they get to the hospital, they are dead because of the way they are handled. So together with Ghana Red Cross Society and their other allies, we are doing the training people. They also have NAPCO has given them some young men whom they are training. So this first aid post will take care of these accident emergency service, as soon as we are locating them at strategic points where we see that it's not far from accident prone or crash prone areas, so that as soon as the crash occur, they can mobilize themselves, go and then support to remove the crash victims and take them safely to wherever they have to. Okay.
A lot of the policies that you have outlined have to do with education. So you've engaged the media, you've engaged drivers, you've engaged other sections of the public. We've seen the Commission carry out a lot of work together with the MTTD in enforcing the law. What has been done in enforcing the law in the past year?
With enforcing the law, that is their mandate. It's not our mandate. So they are, by law, they are supposed to ensure that they enforce the law. So they have their own issues. Sometimes they talk about, the MTTD themselves will talk about their numbers. They need a lot of men to be part of it. They also talk about resources. If you remember, and I think I stated it yesterday, we as a commission see enforcement as very vital, and we can do all the education to the end. If these laws are not enforced, we have spoken to the air, and so we, as part, some of our money that was supposed to be given to us by road fund, it was not enough, but still we gave some out to the police. We have bought some speed guns and then alcohol meters, I think 10 each, which we are supposed to give to them maybe by the end of this week, and then I think 4,000 reflective jackets. So somebody will say that's our widow's mite to support enforcement. So for us, enforcement is even more than education, because people as human beings, if you do not whip them, they will not even go by what you have told them.
So this is your position, that enforcement is key, even perhaps even more key than education.
Yes, if you go to safety runs in about 4 areas: education, emergency services, enforcement, and then sometimes
engineering.
You talk about engineering and all that. So you cannot take any of them out; they go together. But I can tell you, enforcement is very vital.
We have seen in the past that the National Road Safety Commission has carried out some of these enforcement activities with the MTTD. Given the enormity of the mandates that we've had since February, or at least April, when the recommendations were made, what has been done in terms of the Road Safety Commission working with the MTTD to go out there and carry out these enforcement and education?
We do not carry out enforcement. When we go out with them, we do the educational part of it. We go with them as a team, and then DVLA as a team. So DVLA will be looking at the lines and enforcing, etc. We are supposed to do the educational aspect of it, and then they will do the enforcement. It's a teamwork.
Malik is also here. Malik Abbas Dabo, my colleague.
Yeah, I just want to ask Obiawa just a few questions. Now, you talked about enforcement and how that is central to dealing with this problem. We know that enforcement is on the back of existing law. Was the Commission involved in government's decision to amend the Road Traffic Act 2004, and I'm talking about 683? Was the Commission involved? Were you consulted? Were you in support of that decision to amend the law and reduce the sentences that were contained in this act and reduce them by about 90%?
No, no, we were not part of the reduction. I think it was the government. It was a decision by the government itself. We did not say we would never would have supported the reduction of the penalties. You are talking about those penalties.
Yes.
No, we were not part of it.
And you were not
the 2004 Road Traffic Act. We were part of it when it was drafted. It was drafted.
But in 2008, when it was being amended to reduce the penalties, you were not involved.
No, the Commission was not part of it.
Why was that?
I don't know why it was that, because for us as a commission, what we want is things should be punitive. Otherwise, if it's not punitive, everybody does what they want to do, and it has been a source of worry to us, because if I know that it's supposed to be maybe 20 penalty units, and now it's just 2. It's almost like it's nothing.
Do you believe the reduction may have contributed to the worsening or increasing spate of accidents?
Well, it could be a contributing factor, because there are so many things that contribute to road traffic crashes. So I cannot rule it out. If I know that I do something and the punishment is not high, then it gives me the chance to do it. So it could be a contributing factor in addition to other contributing factors to road traffic crashes.
And why is enforcement lagging?
It would be difficult for me to answer the question for the police themselves. It would have been if they were here. But what I know is that MTTD have always said that their numbers are not up to the number that they need on the road or to deal with the situation. We know generally police, I think, why is it 400 or something? I don't know the numbers, but for the police, the MTT, they have always said that their numbers are few as compared to the workload. They also have complained about logistics and all that. And I think if you see what is happening now, the IGP now has seen that he needs also focus on the police, especially the MTTD. So I think last 2 years or so, he has come out with this accident prevention squad, special training for them, and then he has resourced them. There are not many, but at least they are on the major highways. He has resourced them with their logistics and their vehicles so that they can be on the major highways to ensure that we try to prevent this. We need more of them on the road.
Ms. Obriye, when did these implementations begin? The implementation of these reforms that you read out to us?
Last year, late last year.
Late last year?
Yes.
But the recommendations, can you be more specific with us? At what point late last year?
We started, okay, let me say, maybe from the mid of the year, we started putting things together, but we did not have the money to implement. So last year around, I think around October thereabout, we're given money. So we started with the engagements of the various, and then this year too, we're giving 3 million last year. This year we'll be giving 3.5 early this year.
Given that there is clear evidence of a worsening situation, and if we compare January to January, January last year, the number of people who died through road accidents was 180.
Yeah.
This year in January, the number jumped to 197. And yet, you started this campaign from late last year. If the figures are worsening, is the campaign achieving any results?
Please, you see, you don't expect magic within just a few months. You don't expect a magic. It will take a period. People have said that we need to tell how fight has gone, whether it is we have seen an improvement, but we will take a period. Because if you want to find out how things have gone, you will have to monitor and then do some kind of study to see how it has gone. With the figures, I told you, maybe it was not this stage, but I have said it, that the rising figures has to do mainly with the motorcycles. That is what we are battling with now. The trend is okay for a child pedestrian death, passenger death. The trend shows it's coming down. But with the motorcycle, you cannot believe it. It is just rising and rising and rising. It has come from the 6th position to the 2nd position as road users that are dying.
We are fact checking that as you speak.
So,
but if we know the solution, what specifically are we doing? I mean, since our funds were released in October last year till now, what specifically has been done in that direction? In that direction,
we are continuing with our education, but right now we are starting a forum. We are going around the country. You know, for us as commission, what we want is safety, and safety for us, it would have been they have to enforce the law so that people do not use the motorcycles for Okada or whatever. However, we look at the situation in our nation now, go to certain areas, and it looks like There's no means of proper transport for them to move. And then you come to, how do we call it?
Urban centers.
Their buses, their taxis, but still people are using that Okada. For us, it would have been, we should go by the law. However, what do we do in a situation where there's no other means of transport? So now we want to go and seek the views of general public. We don't want the case where the towing issue came, it was by law, this was what we're supposed to do, and when we started the implementation, it became a problem. Now we want to seek the views of Ghanaians. We need to speak, we need to talk as Ghanaians, the way forward. So we seek the views of everybody, we come down, sit down, and look at generally where the movement is. Is it to regulate them, or should we still go by the ban? Then we take a decision as a nation and we go by it. So it will take time. We cannot say that because we have the money, we should take a decision and tomorrow we are implementing. No, this time we need to have some kind of communication with general.
In that case, it comes back to the question Malik asked about how effective education has been over the past years when we see a rising number in road accidents.
Road traffic, what's it called? Deaths and injuries. It does not mean only education. I've said it. It has to do with education. It has to do with engineering. It has to do with enforcement, emergency services. If people are involved in a crash and we do not have ambulances or paramedics to go quickly to the site to take them to the hospital, they will die. Has that to do with education?
But if there is a head-on collision and people are trapped and the car goes up in a car on fire, there's nothing any ambulance can do.
It could be an accident. If you can't do anything about it, that's what we differentiate between an accident and a crash. The ones that can be prevented is a crash. The one that you cannot prevent is an accident. So if it's it was a crash and then it evolved into an accident, you can't do anything about it.
Have we failed as a nation in our accident management?
I would say no, we haven't. Because if you look at 2015, we have this National Road Safety Strategy, which is spanning over 10 years, and it's ended 2020. 2015 was the mid, and it was evaluated by African Union. If you look at the outcomes of what came out of that study, Ghana topped.
But 1,802 people still died in 2015.
I will not say that.
And the number got worse in 2016.
I will not say that. Listen, I will not say that even one person dying, I'm happy. Never. I will not agree to that one person should die. It could have been me or any other person. But I just want to tell you that we should not throw our hands into the air and just think that nothing is being done or being done properly.
No, we are not. We are just saying
no.
The year that you are citing, in that year, 1,802 people died in road crashes.
Do you know what other countries had in Africa? You don't. If you
because
look at,
I'm not interested.
You are not interested, and so we don't just talk about just numbers. With safety, we talk about numbers in relation to the number of vehicles in the country. If you want to measure how good a country is doing, you just don't say numbers, because if you go to America, then it's thousands or millions of people have died. But look at the number in America. Maybe one person has 2 vehicles. Here, maybe 1 vehicle for about 10 people in a family. But America, even in one family, everybody has maybe 2 vehicles. So we compare numbers with the number of vehicles. So that was called fatality rate and all that. And if you look at, I don't have my this thing here. Otherwise, you see the trend. It has come down in relation to the number of vehicles that are in the country, and it's rising every year.
In your budget at 6.5 million, you have also been constructing first aid poles and lollipop stands.
No, that one was not part. You see that we said in addition to what the president gave us, those first aid poles were given. I mean, the money was from the World Bank. It was from the World Bank because, and you know, first aid poles we are going to give it to the Ghana Red Cross Society. They are not part of road safety. They are in the emergency services. But as a commission, we know that if we are able to treat emergency cases quickly and save lives, the numbers will also come down. Because for a country or for us, we count it 24 hours after the the crash has occurred. If anybody dies within that period, then we take it as a result of the crash. So if we can save that life within 24 hours, then we are fine with it.
And the lollipop stance as well.
Yes, the lollipop stance is to protect our children. Our children are going to school, and we have put these stands at strategic positions near, especially schools, so that the children can pick it. Unfortunately, and this is something we are going to see how we can work around with. We put it there, and then we've told the schools to be responsible for it, so that they help the children cross. They just raise it up, show it to the driver, and the driver will hold on, and then the children can cross safely to the other point and put it back. Sometimes people just go and pick it and take it away, and so we have to be replacing it. However, it shows, like I told you, that the pedestrian child death is coming down, and we need to sustain it.
Meaning your remit extends just beyond just education. There are actions, specific actions that within your wisdom you can take to bring numbers down, like you've been doing in the pedestrian numbers.
That's yes, not just education. We do advocacy and all, and any innovative thing that we can do within our mandate to help bring. We go to schools and do child education. So if you just go and tell the children cross safely, how do they cross safely?
So what
if they don't get there?
What innovation has been introduced in the space of motorcycles since we do education in that area? What innovation have we introduced since February?
We haven't introduced anything. One of the things that we are talking with the road agencies that we want to pilot and see, if you look at some of the eastern countries, what they have at intersections, or even at where they started before, where the vehicles, the bigger, the cars will stop, they would earmark a place for all motorcycles so that they can go and wait in that area before the vehicles come, so that they are comfortable, then they can move. There's something we want to see whether we can pilot it and see how it will work. If it works, then people are more comfortable. It's unfortunate. You go to, we're just in the north last week, and it's amazing how in Tamale they would stop at the traffic lights and wait comfortably, all of them, the motorcyclists. It's just that they don't put on their helmets, but they will stop, wait, and then when it's green for vehicles to go, they all will move there with the other vehicles. However, we come down south, and then we are doing something else. So we are thinking about what can we do to because that marking will be physical for people to see. So they may be comfortable to be in that box to wait till the green comes before they. You know,
private vehicles have seen an increase in road accidents. And though commercial vehicles have seen a decrease, private vehicles have seen an increase in the past year.
Yeah. So
what innovations are we looking at in that area as well?
For us, we think that we should step up our road safety information, etc. Because we don't have an association of private, but at least they listen to radio, TV, and Joy FM has been doing this for us for so many years. When it's getting Christmas, they do it, and people listen to your station also. So at least if the message goes on, is consistent, at least something will get into the head, and then he himself will take that decision that even when there is no policeman, it's my responsibility to ensure that maybe when I get to the traffic light, I need to stop. But or I should not use the siren when I'm not one of the emergency services. I'm not supposed to. So I think that like we have sought the support of the media houses, you also can help us in that direction, because I don't know, we don't have any place unless we go to the churches, which we do. We go to the mosques, which we do, and that's where those who use the private cars are, and we talk to them. But unless we use your forum, your medium, and then maybe the whip goes for those who break the law. I don't know any other.
But yes, but you see,
and then the spot fine is also coming. It's another way of also getting the private cars.
The spot fine.
Yes.
When is it coming?
The police will have to. They have gone to extend the police council is supposed to approve whatever they have done, and then we.
It is almost 10 years late.
It is maybe more than that, because it is in
please
the
speak, link to your left.
Road traffic regulation. It is in the road traffic regulation, which was passed in 2012. So it is very late, but it's better late than never.
You see,
we have gone through a process. If you remember the late Awuni, his time when he was the police commander, we almost even started. So we had to hold
Why
on.
was it not?
The procurement process that we're going through, we had to halt it at some point. You have to go through if you are not going through the right channel.
So the procurement process was unlawful? You were not going through the right channel?
I mean, because yes, if you want, that's how I would say it.
Should I tell you what my police sources told me?
Who?
What my police sources told me in respect of the procurement processes.
Yes.
It's because some people just wanted to make money that they didn't deserve, and that was why the police stopped it. Because
people wanted to make money.
They actually set up offices. They bought equipment for the spot fine to happen.
Who did
and
that?
Some business persons, some business persons who wanted to take a higher.
If you can allow Malik to finish.
Some business persons.
You will get the answer to your question.
Some business persons who wanted to take a higher percentage of the proceeds of the spot fine, and because they wanted to use their political connections, Awuni at the time then said, this will not happen under my watch, that you won't take this percentage of money that the police are going to collect under spot fine. That is why the process was truncated and was suspended. And I just watched, I know what I'm talking about. I just watched a video yesterday in which he was cautioning some other police commanders that the system had not been rolled out yet, and that he had information that police were extorting money from unsuspecting drivers under the guise that the system was being implemented.
I remember, but okay. I wanted him to state what he was saying. It was not clear to me.
Okay, so I'm bringing in callers now. 0302216541, 0244340437, 0302216541, 0244340437. Okay, so what I've been trying to understand in our conversation so far is I've been trying to understand what we should measure the results we are getting by. We are seeing more people die. What have we been doing differently? I've asked you on 2 occasions what innovation we have introduced, like we did with the lollipop stand. We have said none.
The lollipop stand is one.
I gave that example and I asked
emergency
you.
Services, what's it called? First aid post is
that's one. For after the accident. But before, to prevent an accident, beyond the lollipop stand, none has been done.
Yeah, the spot fine, it will come on board.
When?
I cannot say it today or tomorrow because it is not under our ambit, it's under the police. But I know that they've gone far and it's left with the police council to approve whatever they have to do.
But with the greatest of respects, Mrs. Obriebwa,
yes, please.
Isn't that where the problem is? The fact that we are unable to name an innovation to prevent road accidents for the past 5 years. I'm being very modest with my estimates. Isn't that where the problem is?
That's not where the problem is.
Tell me where the problem is.
The problem is you and I being indisciplined on our roads. That is the indiscipline. Because the basic things that we need to do, those in 4-wheel drives would go on the road and will be going the opposite. What innovation do we need in this? Why should you go on the opposite side when you know that you should be in the maybe the right lane?
How about better policing? How about traffic cameras so that people are brought to book when they break the law?
The cameras come with a spot fine. It's a package. They are coming with a
which
spot
we
fine.
Haven't implemented
since 2012.
Exactly. I have agreed that, but we are going to implement it.
And the excuse is that there were problems with the procurement processes, and so we stopped the process. Since 2012,
we did not. We stopped that process, but we continue. When you want to start the process, this is not just one day thing. It takes time.
Let me allow.
And I've said it. It's better late than never.
Except that we can't say that for those who are
Malik, just a moment, Mrs. Obriebwa. Uncle John is on the line from Sakumono. He wants to make a contribution. Good morning, Uncle John. Please turn off your radio and let's hear you. What's your contribution?
Okay, let me turn off the radio, please. I'm in a car, so.
All right.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning. Go ahead.
I wish I would be called to the station to face Madam. I'm a professional driver. I've been in the business for 40 years. I don't know how long Madam has driven. I don't know how far he has gone to. You see, police are also contributing to the accident. And I want to ask her, those who are selling under the traffic lights in our cities, day in, day out, cars are knocking them. What is he doing about that? He's talking about motorcycles. What are those who are selling under traffic lights? You see, you give this big gun to police to increase their daily money on their pocket.
And that will be an unfair observation to make. You can talk about corruption on the streets, but when you say that is why it was given out, it will be unfair. Thank you very much, Uncle John, for calling. Nana is calling from Kumasi. Good morning, Nana.
Good morning.
Nana, let's hear you.
Okay, I hope you're doing well.
I am blessed. Please go ahead.
Okay. All what I want to say is that solving our fatal road accident, my emphasis on fatal road accident, does not mean how good you can speak English or how you can speak a political talk or whatever. The solution is simple. All this money that they have, the lady is saying they have given to them and whatever. At least we can use that money to construct, what do you call it? On the highway, you can use that money to make a carriageway, double lane. So if you avoid this collision accident, that will be the only solution. The solution will not be how to paint on the road or how you do the traffic light or whatever. The solution is to make a carriageway from Accra, Kumasi to Tamale.
Thank you very much, Nana, for calling us from Kumasi. Collins is calling from Koforidua. I'm putting Collins too, but if you have a specific question for Mrs. Obrieboa, you can also ask her here on the Super Morning Show. Good morning, Collins.
Good morning, Daniel.
Great. Let's hear you.
I want to find out from your guest. He's talking about education and all the laws and other things. Has the commission considered the engineering of our roads? The kind of roads that we have? Because some of these accidents that we are talking about that are claiming life are as a result of the kind of roads that we have. So the commission is talking about education, the commission is talking about laws and other things. What about the roads that we have? Precisely, there's a place in Koforidua that they have marked as a crossing area, which is very risky. And as a result of that, when the cars or the drivers get to that spot, instead of them to stop to allow the school children to cross, they cannot stop. So the engineering of our road is one of the causes of death on our roads. So the commission should also be looking at that aspect of
as well. Thank you very much for calling us. Calling from Koforidua. Mohammed is calling from Japan. Good morning, Mohammed.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, let's hear you.
Yeah, you see, anytime this problem comes, they narrow everything to undiscipline from drivers. But even though that one contributes, that was not the only issue. Back and then, Batana. You see, so Tajanya. You see, so road markings are not on the road. Is it that one on display from drivers? When you are driving in the night, you don't see you don't know in which lane you are. The whole road is there. Is that on display from drivers? Where drivers are supposed to park and alight passengers, people are selling. Hawkers are there. Is that also on display from drivers? Sometimes traffic light got spoiled for a number of days. It doesn't work. Is that also on discipline from drivers? So the issue is far from that. And the sport fine that Madam is talking about is still going on. People are taking sport fine. It's just that it does not go to the place it's supposed to go. I'm very sorry. My mom was talking to me before I was speaking. So
I understand. Thank you very much, Mohammed. You called from Japan. Desmond is calling from Ada. Good morning, Desmond.
Yeah, good morning.
Desmond, please turn off the radio and let's hear your question.
Oh, okay. Please, my question is that we can have all the laws in the country, but if the roads are not good. I want to cite an example. Between Chopoli and Dawat and Chopoli and Dowinya, a portion of the road is very, 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 very bad.
and I don't know what they are doing about it. And if you are a stranger and you are applying that road, you can have an accident at any time. Now, from Kase to Adamfo, they've done just a portion of the road and they left the other side. Should I say the outer lane has been done and the inner lane is there. So the cars moving in and out are struggling, just moving on one road. So I want to ask, what are they doing about the road from Kase to Adamfo? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Desmond. Let me come to you, Mrs. Obrieboa. Questions are coming not just about enforcement, but about engineering as well. Engineering was a key part of the implementations, the recommendations, made by the Interministerial Committee.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, and I, you see, when you pose the questions, it says I answer it according to how the question has been given.
Of course.
Yes, but with safety, it's not only education and enforcement. We have to deal with engineering, which has to do with roads and also even the engineering of the vehicles that we use. And also, like I said, emergency services also comes in. So I agree with them that there are some engineering flaws on our roads. And we as a commission are advocating also that most of our highways should be dualized, which will prevent the head-on collision. That does not mean that it will be zero accidents on the road, but at least the areas, Accra Kumasi Road, years ago, maybe about 15 or 20 years ago, when we did not have the dual carry, look at the number of head-on collisions that we were having. But now that we have dualized certain areas, have we heard about head-on collision of those areas? No. And so we are for dualization of those sections. We may not be able to do them all at once, but if every year it's programmed for, and then we do some 5 kilometers or 10 in the end. And I should tell you that 6.5 people are saying that should have been used for roads. I beg to differ that if you want to do maybe a kilometer of asphalt, it's getting to about 1 million Ghana cedis thereabout. So
that is by Ghanaian standards, isn't it? Because if you go to other jurisdictions,
that is what I know. And we need education also. We cannot take any of these ones out. All of them are important. Then I agree.
Before you go to the next question, I'll take Jackson from Kaswe's question. Yeah, because he's been on the line for a little while. Good morning, Jackson.
Good morning, Daniel. Thank you very much. My name is Abusa Jackson Jelano. Thank you very much to bring the commissioner to the stadium. Thank you. The commissioner said a lot. And she said that they want the government to make them authority before they can solve the problem we are having. 80 people die a day. It's not a day. Let's say hours. And we are saying they should make us authority before we can solve the problem. Daniel, let me tell you something. I'm a driver myself. I started driving 2001. How many years now? See, our roads are very bad. Yes, some of the drivers are bad. Some of the drivers, the way they drive is no good. But we'll take those things. Our policemen on the road, every day they are not taking anything. They are just taking one city from the drivers and leave them. Our road marking all go up. Our lighting system is not good. From Cape Coast to Accra, where you are going, let me show you a place. Before you reach Fantima, after Fantima, there is a pothole over there. Since I start going to Cape Coast, more than 7 years now, that pothole is there. From there, when you are going from Asitore area over there, going to Akosobo, a forest, there is something like a forest reserve level over there. There's some bumpy over there. If you don't know the road, you are driving in the night. Meanwhile, our lighting system is very bad. Right now, I'm driving before talking to you about our park. Let me tell you something. Right now, go to Malan Junction. In the front of that Echo Bank over there, the new road they do, there's a big pothole over there. Right now, I'm talking to you. Nobody cares. And they are there. Only big English they can speak in this country. People are loving their life. Daniel, it's okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jackson, for calling. Marconi is on the line from Tema. Good morning, Marconi. Hi, Marconi. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Daniel.
Great. Let's hear you.
Very, very, very sad news. Last Saturday, Sammy Forcing program, somebody said something. Eli Roby say some of the drivers take something called Asra. It's very, very true. I've been in Mid before. We used to travel from here to Burkina, Mali, even Senegal. Some of the drivers take Asra, even some smoke ganja, which is very sad, very, very bad. You see?
Okay.
And this North Road, I'm wondering how car used to get accident in that road. Because that road is, if you know that road, it's a very, very straight road. I don't know why always every year there's accident there. I can't understand.
It's an interesting thought you have expressed. The Kintampo Teshiman Road, you can have 4 kilometers of straight stretch of road, but it also means that if you are driving on the road and you are tired, you can easily veer into another lane because you don't have a lot of curves on it. Yao is on the line from Takrady. He's our last caller. Good morning, Yao.
Yes, good morning.
Great, let's hear you.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Listener. A quick one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I discovered that in this conversation, we are lumping all the issues together. Well, I think that, for example, if you're looking at what happened over last week for those accidents, they were all head-on. Let us identify factors that contribute to head-on and then address them. If it's lack of sleep, if it's indiscipline, you understand my point. So that at any point in time, the various factors that are causing these accidents are identified independently and addressed independently. If we lump them together, this is where we always land ourselves, and it will be a knee-jerk approach. When it happens, we talk about it a couple of days after it ends there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yao, from Tadi. Thanks so much for calling. I'll give Ms. Obriebe the opportunity to complete her thoughts there. You wrote them down, so you can address some of these issues.
It's interesting, and I'm enjoying the contributions that is coming from the general public. No two accidents even are the same. If you do an investigation, somebody talked about drugs. If two different accidents may seem similar, but if you go down and do an investigation, you will see that they are not the same. Sometimes you may even have to trace the issue back to maybe the driver, even back home. He came to sit behind the steer with issues from home, and that could have contributed. Somebody also could have taken drugs, and that could have contributed to the accident. So road traffic accidents or crashes and road safety is very complex, a very complex issue, and we have seen it. The last speaker said it looks like we are lumping them together. That's why I wanted to differentiate the different ways that we can resolve them through engineering, education, emergency service, and then what have you, enforcement. There are different ways of addressing, and a lot of time they will have to come together to be able to achieve good results.
I agree that they are complex. I'll let you go on. I'll agree that, ma'am, if I can get this, if I can get this one through, I agree that they are complex. But if in the conversation that we've had, beyond education, we cannot report anything substantial that we have done beyond education in the past 5 years. Are we acknowledging that the problem is complex?
Why can't we?
No, I'm referring to this conversation we've had, where we cannot, beyond the lollipop stance, we cannot point to one thing we have done. I'm going back to those two questions on innovation. Are we acknowledging that it's a complex problem?
No.
We've been doing the same thing for the past 10 years. In the conversation we've had,
the police have come out with this accident prevention squad. It was never there.
The accident prevention squad.
It was never there.
And when were they?
They'll be about 3 years or so old.
So what has been the effectiveness? Because in the past 3 years, we have seen an increase in the number of road accidents.
All 3 years have represented
all 3 years have been
year.
a greater one.
Listen to what I'm saying. I told you that the accident does not necessarily mean that it's only on the highways that those accidents are happening.
Do you have the separate figures to show us that this is where the deaths come from? Because this is the second time you're referencing this.
I don't have it, but every month
then
it's given to us, the police.
Then
they've shown
also
us
have
the commercial that's what comes from commercials, what comes from the motorcycles. It's been segregated. And I'm telling you that with authority that's for the motorcycle is also increasing. Enormously. And that is one of the contributory factors to these numbers that we are seeing.
I agree, but what is the action in the area? We know where the problems are specifically. Where is the action?
And the action, I've told you the action that we want to review. We wanted to review the law. Because of the cases that have come, the police are finding it difficult to enforce the law. If you have a law and you are finding it difficult to enforce, you have to see what you can do about it. And that's why we're having this forum, to see which way to go as a nation.
And we are having the forum in March 2019.
Yes.
But we knew this as
we've done a lot of studies to see. You can't just get up and then you need to do studies. We go with figures.
But so when the figures were available when I was interviewing you in December, these statistics they were available when we had this in
when I talk about studies, it's not just the numbers. You have to do
okay. So what has been done? Can you walk us through what has been done since December?
We have done studies to show, looking at different areas of the country, the type of accidents with the motorcycles, what is happening. And I told you that if you come to the north, it's fine with them. The studies show that it's fine with them. They will stop. The only issue they have is their crash helmet. So that if there should be a crash, then it is their heads that are.
Okay.
But with those of us in the south, the studies have shown that we are not going by the rules. And the question is, why are we not going by the rules?
We'll try and answer that question
in the down south.
We'll try and answer that question shortly.
It goes within discipline.
We'll take the Joy Business Minutes now, and when we come back, and a few more messages. When we come back, Mrs. Obiebo and Malik will finish up, and then we move to our next conversation. Stay with us.
Glad you could join us for the Joy Business Minute.
Hi, it's Karen and Darrell.
Some major oil marketing companies have adjusted their prices at the pumps. Joy Business understands the move is to help them recover costs incurred as a result of the city's recent depreciation.
Meanwhile, Gold has kept its prices unchanged at the pumps. Sources say the cost incurred in importing these products does not warrant an increase.
The Maritime and Dock Workers Union has called on government to urgently renegotiate the 35-year concession agreement between the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority and Meridian Port Services to serve the broader interests of all industry players. The review said must include clauses which will guarantee security of jobs and investment of local businesses.
And Nigeria's state oil firm says it plans to revamp its refineries to help Africa's biggest crude oil producer to save billions of dollars on fuel imports. It has hired Italy's Mer Tecnimont to tackle the Port Harcourt plant.
Happy Monday, everyone.
We're back at 3:06.
At Afrodan, we believe that many of the problems people have with their health is as a result of the way they sit. In other words, your chair can kill you. Here's Dr. Marcus Mann of the Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
What you have to remember is that the spine is the lifeline to your body, and posture is the window to that spine. Now, posture is affected by your daily activities and habits like sitting. That's why at the Chiropractic and Wellness Centers, we recommend what I believe to be the best chairs available for preventing not only subluxations, but also other health problems that you may not be aware of. And that's Rabami and Mobilex chairs. Unfortunately, on a daily basis, I have to correct the effects of this poor sitting habit in our businessmen and businesswomen. Always remember, optimal spine equals optimum health.
So, for the sake of your health, buy Rabami or Mobilex chairs from Afrodan. We're on the first floor of the Swansea Shopping Arcade. Telephone 663-085.
Hey, Kwame, what's up here?
My brother,
my wife has been diagnosed with cancer.
What?
My brother is here with kidney disease too.
Oh, yeah. Do you know the World Health Organization estimates that over 16,000 new cases of cancers are diagnosed annually in Ghana, and kidney diseases account for 10% of all medical admissions to Kolebu?
But thanks to Glyco-Critical Illness Plan, GSIP, I have spent over 20,000 Ghana cedis on my younger brother's disease. Yeah. What is GSIP?
Glyco-Critical Illness Plan, GSIP, provides you with financial support when diagnosed with any critical illness or dread disease
such as cancers, strokes, kidney failures. Speak to GlycoLife today on 0302-218-500 for your GSIP policy. It is definitely in our interest to survive. GlycoLife, we cushion you for life.
Since inception, almost 100% of Ashesi University students have found jobs, started businesses, or gone on to graduate school within 6 months of graduation. From Accra to Nairobi, London to New York, Ashesi graduates are noticed and they are leading successful careers. If you dream of a rewarding life and career, an Ashesi education prepares you for just that. Learn more about applying to Ashesi at www.ashesi.edu.gh. Remember, admission is ongoing.
I am Dr. Acacia. Acacia gives your workers the best customer service and treatment options when the need arises, keeping them healthier and more productive for your business. Acacia Health Insurance. We place value on those you value.
No great story ever begun with, and we stayed at home all day and did nothing. Adventure, that's where great stories are born. Adventure has enough room for friends. It's spacious. Adventure happens in the city and out in the rough. Adventure has your back, front, side and side. Adventure is affordable and available. Ignite your own adventure with the all-new Renault Duster with a new sleek design, comfortable drive, 360-degree multi-view camera, hill descent control system, a 1.6-liter efficient and powerful engine, and so much more. Adventure. The all-new Renault Duster is sold and serviced by Premium Motors Limited. Call 0307-079977 or visit the Renault showroom at Atiko Junction on the Kanishi Odoko Road.
Renault, passion for life.
Oh my God! Today police will use me for light soup.
Driver, why?
My car insurance has expired, and the police are up ahead. That is why I'm behaving this way.
This driver, pa. So haven't you heard of Sunu Assurance's Easy Buy? You just have to dial *711 *733 hash to purchase or renew your motor insurance on all mobile money platforms.
So you mean I just dial *711 *733 hash and I'll be sorted? Oh my goodness, this is so easy and convenient.
Yes, dial *711 *733 hash to pay or renew your motor insurance on all the mobile money platforms. You can locate our offices nationwide at Airport Accra, Spentex, Tema, Kumasi, Koforidia, Tamale, Sunyane, Winneba, Cape Coast, Takrade, and Obuasi. You can contact us on 0302 770 548. Sunu Assurances. You pick your way, we take the risk.
We interrupt this program to bring you breaking news. No expiry demonstrations have broken out all across the country. Ghanaians are demanding the right to use their data for as long as they want.
No expiry! No expiry!
In an effort to appease the situation, Airtel Tigo has scrapped data expiry. Our reporter Abna is on the ground.
What do you think about Airtel Tigo's new data bundle?
What is mine should be mine for as long as I want.
What about you, sir?
Oh, now with big time data bundles, we can browse, sir.
Airtel Tigo says, haha, their data doesn't expire. Dial *111 hash today and get big time data so you can browse only on Airtel Tigo.
Now, this very moment, it's the pulse of possibility, potential, power. It's time
to make your move.
To take that step.
The time is now.
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 The great things you do tomorrow start with the small steps you take right now. So take that step with Old Mutual. Call us on 0302-230-638 and make now count. Old Mutual. Do great things every day.
Super Morning Show.
It is 11 minutes past 9 here on the Super Morning Show. Enjoy 99.7 FM. My name is Daniel Dazi. Thanks so much for staying with us. My next guest is already here. So we'll wrap up very quickly with Mrs. May Obri-Yeboah. Malik has a final question he'll put to her, and then we would wrap up with this conversation. Thanks so much for your contribution. It's a very key issue, and you have demonstrated that with your involvement. Now, Roverman Productions has a new play, Dora, Why, coming out. So let me tell you about it. Dora has been dead for 30 years, yet Reverend and Mrs. Soa find this note. Good evening, Thomas and Mabel. Today marks the 30th anniversary of my death. This is to keep my memory alive. Please don't forget me. Signed, Dora. Is this note really from Dora? If not, who is behind this cruel prank? And why does he or she, what does he or she want of Reverend and Mrs. Soa? Find out on the 6th, the 7th, the 20th, the 21st, and 22nd of April 2019 at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day. Rate is a cool 80 Ghana cedis. Buy your tickets at the usual places or go on rovermanproductions.com and other social media handles. You can also call 050-554-6010 or WhatsApp 050-554-6010 or email tickets at rovermanproductions.com. GCB, your largest bank in Ghana, offers salaried workers with their salary accounts at GCB personal loans within 24 hours. With GCB's 24-hour personal loan, salaried workers can meet their financial obligations with a smile. So go on and enjoy the things you love and need to do. Visit any of our over 180 branches nationwide or call 0800-422-422 for a GCB 24-hour personal loan now. See that dream come true. GCB, your bank for life. Let me come to Malik for his final question.
Yes. So I just wanted to ask final from Mrs. May Obri-Yeboah whether there is a differentiation in terms of qualification and competence of driving for drivers who drive these buses, because they convey lots of people. And these bus companies who all carry thousands of people weekly, are they regulated? How? If not, why? And why was this station not grounded after this harrowing accident? Because quite a number of their buses have been involved in accidents in the past. Why were they not grounded, at least to be sure that they have systems in place that protect commuters?
Okay, thank you. For the drivers, right now as we speak, we do not have a regulator of the road transport system. Today, I can get money, I can go and buy a bus, I go and register with GPRD or any, some even are not even registering and they are on the road. There's nobody regulating them. It is now as part of the authority status for road safety, the ministry wants us to do that regulation of the transport system. For drivers, as we speak now, the only thing that I can say is that the law says that when they go to DVLA, they have to do some, before you get your licenses, you have to go through some method, that is do some written tests, etc. The problem has been with those who have not gone to school. Why? The law says that you should have at least had a basic level. That is the new thing that changed from the old one to the basic level. At least you have some knowledge. So that is the difference now. That now you should have some basic knowledge. I'm talking about schooling, JSS or whatever. I think that's the JSS is the basic one. So that you at least you know with these new vehicles that are coming with various things that are on it, you should be able to interpret what is saying on the vehicle. But I can tell you that there is no regulator for the road transport system. We, as a commission, the ministry wants to add that to our mandate
and make you an authority.
When we come an authority with the VIP, please, we have seen that. I mean, the last one that occurred, accidents that have occurred. Many people, many different companies have written VIP. So the VIP we used to know with that red, they are circle. Others have come into the system using the same brand name and color.
This one is VVIP. There are two different companies. The VIP, the one you're talking about, the circle, and there is VVIP, which is around Aveno.
And that's
so
not the only
this accident was VVIP.
And I'm telling you that even that VVIP, there are others. others who have also branded it. So we need to, because I'm saying this because when the accident occurred, I think on the Kintampo one or somewhere, we went to do an investigation and we found out that VIP, the one that we know at Circle, I think for the past some number of years, they had been involved in just a single or 2 crashes. Meanwhile, we all know what we see on our roads, those red buses being involved in road traffic crashes. Okay. So we need to know which company. We just don't say VIP and go to VIP and go and close up the place. We need to do a proper investigation to know which of the VIPs or VVIPs that is involved. Okay. And then we go to that extent. And I think that is one of the things we are advocating for. Yesterday I said it when I was doing that press briefing. That in the airlines, you cannot just go and then join and then you get involved in a crash and then you are going and you are working. That's day or so you are grounded, and that is the line we want to toe now. Okay. So I agree with you that some of these things should be done to make people know that we cannot take the Ghanaian for granted and just pick a bus and kill people on the road.
Right. Thank you very much, May Obriabwa, for joining us this morning. She is the executive director for the National Road Safety Commission. I know you have a very, very busy schedule ahead of you today, so would allow you to take leave of us now. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you also to Malika Basdabo for joining the discussion. You're still live on the Super Morning Show. Enjoy 99.7 FM. So one thing we like I told you earlier, one thing we are doing this morning is that we are sitting down with 3 young Ghanaian entrepreneurs. Why is this important? Because we have had conversations about the Ghana city and how our economy is not owned by Ghanaians in the past, number 1. Number 2, we are continuing our Ghana Month series. And so today, in fact, this week, we want to celebrate and engage young people who are actually taking the destiny of this country into their hands and are delivering solutions to services. And so my guests this morning are Joyce Owusu, CEO of Purple Trends, Bright Aferi of Hillbill Shoes, and Ahmad Duncan, who is the founder of the Fabulous Woman Network. Joyce is seated. I'll be back after these to begin the conversation.
Hello, Corporate Ghana. It's the 4th Ghana CEO Summit, a unique 2-day world-class business conference to be held on the 20th and 21st of May, 2019 at Kempinski. Theme: Futuristic Economy, Technology-Driven Future of Business and Governance for Economic Transformation. This summit has been a real success and has attracted over 1,500 dignitaries, including His Excellency, President Nana Akufo-Addo. For registration and sponsorship, visit GhanaCEOSummit.com or call 054-639-1970. Powered by CEO Network Ghana and Deloitte.
Providence Insurance, insurance for marine. Providence Insurance, insurance for your motor. Providence Insurance, insurance for your property. Providence Insurance, your future happy days.
With Provident, man, you are covered. Hello and welcome to the MTN Weather Report. Still, I'm not for and dry. But this year, whatever your needs are, we're there for you. Now the details.